Hi, welcome back to Simply Jewish Parenting. It is summer. I'm so excited. I love the summer. But if your summer feels a little louder, a little more chaotic, and a little more emotionally intense than you expected, you are definitely not alone. Summer brings sunshine, freedom, and a break from school routines, but it also tends to bring something that many parents don't anticipate: more whining, more arguing, and more irritability, and more emotional ups and downs. And when we talk about managing summer misbehavior in kids, there's one key idea that helps everything make more sense. Kids thrive on structure, even when they resist it. During the school year, children are held by predictable rhythms: wake up, school, lunch, homework, bedtime. Even if they complain about it, that structure quietly supports their emotional regulation. In the summer, a lot of that disappears. And what we often see is not bad behavior, but dysregulation. Kids are still adjusting to a world without the same anchors, and their behaviors reflect that. The good news is we don't need a perfectly structured summer to see improvement. We just need a few intentional changes. Number one, adjust your expectations. One of the most powerful tools in managing summer misbehavior in kids is simply adjusting expectations. Summer is not a parenting failure. It is a seasonal change. This might mean that dinner is not perfectly balanced every night. Bedtimes are more flexible within reason. Kids stay in pajamas longer than usual. And small power struggles that normally matter can be intentionally overlooked. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, children regulate better when expectations are consistent but also realistic. And in many cases, when we lower the pressure, we actually see fewer battles. All right, number two, create a loose but predictable plan. Kids don't need a rigid schedule in the summer, but they do need anchors. A simple daily rhythm can go a long way. You might sit down as a family and outline a wake up and a bedtime range, screen time expectations, simple daily responsibles, and what counts as must do versus flexible activities. This kind of predictable rhythm helps children feel more secure, even in a relaxed environment. And when kids feel secure, behavior tends to stabilize. All right, number three, we want to respond to crankiness with connection. Summer brings heat, boredom, overstimulation, and often, again, a lack of structure. So it makes sense that kids are more emotionally reactive. Instead of jumping into correction every time there's a meltdown, try starting with connection. Offer a drink or a snack. Usually they're just hungry or really thirsty, and make it a cold drink. Give them an ice pop. You could also name what you see. You seem really tired and frustrated. You also want to reduce demands for a moment if needed, because often what looks like misbehavior is actually a child who's overwhelmed. And a calm, connected response helps regulate not just your child, but you as well. When kids feel understood, behavior often changes faster than it does with correction alone. All right, some final thoughts for today, because I know you have to get back to being outside and enjoying the sunshine. I live in Cleveland all year round, so I take advantage of the summertime big time. I love being outside. All right, so managing summer behavior in kids doesn't require perfection, it requires flexibility, connection, and realistic expectations. Summer will never look like the school year, and it's not supposed to. With a few simple changes, you can reduce tension in your home and actually enjoy more of the season with your children. And many parents find something interesting happens by the time September comes around. They're actually ready for routine again. All right, let's talk about a simple takeaway skill that you can use right away. It's called the 10-second reset. Here's how it works. When your child starts to melt down, argue, or get stuck in a spiral of frustration, pause for 10 seconds before responding. In those 10 seconds, do just three things in your mind. Notice: my child is dysregulated, not defiant. I know it's hard, but it's true. Lower the immediate expectation in your head. Choose connection before correction, and then respond with something simple and grounding like, you seem really overwhelmed, let's take a break. Or I'm here, we'll figure this out together. That 10-second pause changes the entire interaction. It interrupts reactivity on both sides and brings you back into a calmer, more connected parenting stance. It's small, it's simple, but it can completely change the tone of your summer. Thank you for joining me at Simply Jewish Parenting. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your friends or subscribe. And please, you can contact me at asokloff@parentingsimply.com. I would love to hear from you. Have a great day.